Hello everyone, I'm Kalik, and in the last video I made a game in 72 hours. After the feedback of the game, I decided to polish the game and recreate it as a mobile game, and find out within the time of 1 week how much I could add to the game. I mentioned in the last video that I wanted to add more features, so that's what I did. I was heavily focused on converting the game from PC to mobile and polishing it, which took a while. I made these little UI buttons for movement and picking up stuff. Then fixed a few bugs I had found, which was simple enough, and by the end of the day I had a fully functioning mobile game, which I'm pretty proud of. The throwing is something I felt needed changes because testers were complaining that it was too difficult to aim, and it wasn't clear how to aim, which is fair enough, but that task was for another day. I wanted to add sounds and things that made the game come to life a little, so that's exactly what I added. Some fire sounds I found on Production Crate for free that just constantly loops. The fire's light didn't change size at all, even when the fire got really small, so I fixed that and then made the light flicker, as fire would do. I fixed some more bugs and then carried on with the sounds like jumping, picking up items and putting stuff in the fire, and that was it for Tuesday. I didn't get much time on Wednesday, but I wanted to get started with random events, to give the gameplay a little bit of a change, so it's less repetitive. I created rain with the Unity particle system, and created a script that will determine when it's going to rain next. While it's raining, the fire's health goes down quicker. I also made a little jump effect with the Unity particle system too, and that's Wednesday done. I didn't get much work done on Thursday either. I fixed a few bugs. I made the items actually follow the player's hand, and also reworked the pickup system, as I didn't like the way I had made it originally. Then I made a particle system that would constantly make clouds. I actually made these clouds for the jam and never had the time to add them, and they stayed on my desktop for a while, but I've added them now. I started by adding a few details. I fixed an animation bug, then did some playtesting, and noticed some things that bugged me. So first I added some sounds to the beginning screen, so that it was more alive. Then the other major thing was, while playing the game, whether it was raining, dark, or even raining when dark, the game over screen would display day. And I wanted to change that. Used a few lines of code, and now, if it's night in the game, it's night in the game over screen. And if it's raining in the game over screen, which I think is really cool. I also made a looping sound for the rain. I also changed the look of the player character to have a hoodie, because it's probably pretty cold up there. Now in theory I could just upload this to Google Play, as this is now a fully functioning game, which is really cool, but I wanted to add more. I wanted to add depth to the game. While the fire is the main part, I wanted to add little things that you could do on the side that could make the game a little more fun. It would be more challenging. These would be optional, of course, but the player would get rewarded for doing them. So I went on my Trello board that I actually haven't been using much, and added the things I wanted to get done over the weekend. Now, Saturday didn't go off to a great start. I made more cloud particles to give depth to the scene, and made the items change where they are in the hand depending on the item. I felt pretty good about it, and went to build and test it on my phone, which I did, and the game broke. The game works basically normal until you throw something. It lags for a second, then just doesn't allow the player to move. That's when I noticed the warning signs in the editor about a script and something to do with the string R. I looked it up, and some people were talking about upgrading Unity version from 2019.2 to something higher, which just so happened to be the version I was on. So I downloaded a higher version. I went on and multiple errors occurred. This was very sad. I fixed them, and in the process learned that the lightweight render pipeline is apparently now the universal render pipeline. I tried to build the game to my phone, and the Unity editor crashed. I restarted it, built it again, and the bug was still there. All of that for basically nothing. I thought about what I had added before the game broke, and removed 6 lines of code, and it worked fine. I wasted so much time to realise that 6 lines of code was the reason why I couldn't move after throwing an item. Are you joking? Well, now that I have that sorted, I can go back to work. Okay, so, after that show, I can work on something that works. So, Gerald was born. Say hello, Gerald. Here's a test to see if he can work in this game as an NPC. I want you to be able to talk to Gerald, but there are no other buttons on the screen, so I have to make one, and replace the pickup button when you're near Gerald. So I did that. I also made it so that if you're right in his face, you can't talk to him. And now it's the dialogue system time. And to be honest, I've never done one before, so I'm going to need a little help, but that's for tomorrow. It's Sunday. Today I need to edit this video, but I wanted to get some work done first, and obviously I wanted to get started on the dialogue system. I created a dialogue box and button and made them appear when talking to Gerald, and then I needed a dialogue system. I created 2 classes, one for the entire sentence, which would contain the dialogue, the name, and the character talking, and an image of the character. And the other class contains an array of the other class to create a conversation, and then, and put that code on there, and then had a working dialogue system. I implemented random conversation, and boom, you talk to him, he talks about eggs. Great. In the future, he will actually set you tasks, but for now, egg. But that's all the time I have for today. I need to edit this video now, but the progress I have made from the beginning of the video to the end is amazing. I guess this is a devlog now, because I'm going to carry on. This is so much fun, and I'm glad some people are watching. Please comment, I love to read them. Like the video if you liked it, and if you want to see more, subscribe. I feel close to being able to upload the game, which is great. But thanks everyone, and I'll see you.